hope the stuff doesn't break. It says we're live. Hey, look at that. Looks like the thumbnail's showing up. I've got positive on audio. At least I've got wavelengths. Hopefully that means that it's working correctly. Alright guys, I hope folks can see me out there. Welcome to yet another daily live stream. I've been doing this most days this week. I've been doing it pretty consistently. Actually, I've been doing it every weekday. This is the 7th day in a row for the weekdays that I've been doing this. As per usual, it's just a chance to hang out, to chat with you guys, eat some delicious food, because, I mean, I guess that's why everybody tunes into my channel, right? Yeah, this is the daily quarantine live stream. Hopefully everybody out there is staying safe, staying healthy. I want to make sure that I'm connecting with everybody out there and give folks a chance to connect with me, give some feedback. And yesterday when I went on my food run, I saw this guy. Now, Marie Calendar pies, usually you need to cook these things. When I think of these like thaw and eat kind of pies, I'm usually thinking of Edwards pies. So when I saw this, I had to check it out. I had to see what the heck is going on. Now there are 8 servings in here with nearly 400 calories per serving. So I'm not going to be able to eat this entire thing. No way, no how. Yeah, when I'm doing these live streams every day... Ooh, that was kind of pretty. Like, there's just no way that I can eat giant amounts of food. I got to be a little bit more moderate so I don't kill myself. This is a cookie dough pie, something I've never heard of. I hope it lives up to my expectations. I love cookie dough flavored things. I got some folks in the chat already. Hey Aiden, thanks for tuning in. Igloo Dude. So Steve, did you get in a run today? I sure did get in a run today. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for asking, keeping me accountable. And actually before this, I'm going to take this thing off because it's starting to get uncomfortable. Holy crap. Yeah, I've been wearing 20-pound weighted vests, standing up at my desk all morning, just like dropping and doing push-ups every now and then. Produce not pills, you say. Cookie dough pie. What's the description? That's a good question. Let's see if there's something on the box. Of course, you're never going to see a cookie dough pie that's actually as pretty as the picture that's on the box, so maybe I should just like put this up here instead of people seeing the actual pie. Yeah, that's not too bad. Let's see here. We have extremely flaky crust made from scratch. Yeah, I don't know if there is anything in here. Just made with artificial, or made with chocolate chip cookie dough chunks. No artificial preservatives. No artificial flavors. That's pretty cool. Decent size ingredient list, not quite as long as a couple of the things that I've seen, but it does look like it's you know, whipped cream on top. Actually, why the heck am I guessing what's in this? I've got it right in front of me. So I let this thaw overnight in my fridge. Nothing like whipped cream with wee tiny little chocolate chips. I think that might have been a little bit of a mistake. And like a custard inside of it. This lighting's a little bit blown out. It worked for the green pie box, but not the pie itself. Pie is too white. I'm gonna turn down the lights. It's a little bit better. I guess the center of this pie is really just kind of like a white cream, so it's not a whole lot going on here. Ooh, that is nice and tasty though. Nice like butter flavoring in the cream. Kind of like a custard or a pudding inside with a couple of chunks of cookie dough. And you can see like one tiny little chunk right there. Of course, the little pieces of cookie dough, nice bursts of sugar and butter just exploding in your mouth. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that piece with that nice chunk of cookie dough, that was money right there. Let's see. Produce not pills, you say. Interesting. Thought it might have a description. Yeah, I wish it did have a description. Igloo Dude, you asked about my run this morning. I totally neglected that comment. Yeah, I went for a run. It took me about an hour. I've actually just been going around my neighborhood checking out some of the Strava segments, seeing if I could get any course records. So I tried for 2 course records this morning. I nailed one. I was so stoked. I think the previous record was 324, and I got it down to 314. So it's always kind of fun to see your name on the top of those leaderboards. The other course record, though, I totally whiffed. The course record was 146 on another segment, and I got 156. And just about killed myself trying it. So I don't think I'm going to be able to make up that 10-second deficit. So I might have to look for some other segments to nail with that one. Yeah, I'm pretty quick. But yeah, there's plenty of guys out there who are quicker than me. Corinne, thanks for tuning in. Hello from France. Beyond Seattle Eats, how you doing, Steve? Hey, thanks for tuning in, Katie. Always good to see you. Oh my goodness, I hope that this stuff blows over. And all the airlines are back up and running and we can compete in the 4th of July, the Coney Island contest. I would be so bummed if the first time that I qualified to go to Coney, I wasn't able to go. But whatever happens, I'm sure we're going to have a great time there. Produce not pills, you say. You're probably triggering people on how you're eating it, though. Yeah, I got this thing up here. Hopefully, I figured folks might want to actually see this this pie. It's like usually food's kind of hidden, so eat it a little bit more naturally. But you know, I figured folks probably want to see what the heck it is that I'm chowing down on. Ah. Oh my goodness, this thing is so ridiculously decadent. So I bought this on closeout, which means they're usually trying to like liquidate their stock. I don't know why they would want to. This is amazing. This is so delicious. I need to see if I can recreate this with my own recipe. I was thinking about it. It is kind of like, you know, I can't tell. It tastes like it's a butter pudding maybe in there. It's definitely not just vanilla. With a pretty plain Jane, maybe par-cooked pastry crust, and just like whipped cream dolloped on top. I think I could recreate it pretty easily. As long as I got a decent recipe for making some, you know, some raw cookie dough that you're supposed to eat. Let's see, catching up on more of them. Produce not pills, you ask if I usually run nonstop or walk in between. Well, when I'm doing those segments, I definitely slow down after those sprints. I guess really stop and go. But if I'm trying to cover as much distance as I possibly can in the shortest amount of time possible, then it's nonstop running, of course. Like, you know, I typically run marathons without stopping, except occasionally, you know, I'll stop at an aid station or something like that. Mayfleur, welcome to the stream. I haven't seen you in any of the streams before, so welcome. Glad you're able to make it. Glad you're able to catch it live. Zappy-ish. Hey, Steve, how old am I? I'm 32 years old, so not a young gun, but still not too old. Oh, my goodness. Sometimes after those long runs, I feel like I'm about 90, though. And then I start eating pie for lunch, and I remember that I'm really just a kid inside. AJAT, good to see you, man. You actually ate at Marie Callender's restaurant in California once. That's awesome. I didn't know there was a Marie Callender's restaurant. I'm definitely going to have to check it out. I could imagine it's like a better version of a Sherry's or something like that. I'm definitely going to have to check it out. Katie, you say that would be sad, but what can we do and wait? Yeah, I know, totally. I'm right there with you. Like, I'm just trying to make the best of it. I was so bummed that I had to cancel. I think I mentioned yesterday that I had to cancel a trip that I had booked to Chicago to go on a mini eating tour there. But when I called some of the restaurants, they just said that everything was shut down. I was planning on going there from April 3rd to 6th, I think. And when I called, everything was shut down until the 7th. And I'm sure that was extended way further beyond that. So I'm looking forward to when everything's gonna open up again. But until then, it's just gonna be like doing these kinds of live streams and seeing what kind of home challenges I can do. But I am definitely looking forward to when I can get back at an MLE contest. Catching up. It's May from the Philippines. Yeah, of course. I always see your comments about love from the Philippines. Love right back to you. Thanks for tuning in. I'm glad that I've got international reach. Let's see. Fabian, hey Steve, do you still do exercise? Yeah, of course. I exercise every day. Just because everything's shut down doesn't mean that my health and my fitness is going to go to heck. I'm doing the best I can. Of course, I'm not able to like get to the gym and get pumped, but you know, you can still do plenty of body weight exercises. Besides, if you guys think that this pie looks delicious and think about how delicious like pie and cheesecake eat, you should try eating a piece of cheesecake after a 10-mile run. Oh my gosh, it is so much better. Oh my goodness. Produce Not Pills. I didn't know she had a restaurant. Interesting. Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, Marie Callender's in Albuquerque growing up too. Is there like a chain of Marie Callender's restaurants? Is that a thing? I thought it was just the stuff that I buy in the stores. I'm gonna have to do some research on this, guys. See if there's like a Marie Callender's restaurant or something within driving distance. Of course, once everything opens up again. Katie, you had to cancel a trip to Japan? Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. That's a real drag. Yeah, Tokyo in Japan is like one of those places that everybody talks about going and how it's like the coolest thing in the world. It's just the bee's knees. So I'm sorry to hear that you had to cancel that trip. I know like me talking about how much of a drag it is to be locked indoors, fully employed with an amazing paycheck, and having to, you know, cancel my plans to go jet setting is kind of like first world problems, right? So I know plenty of folks out there have it way worse than I, and I really feel for everybody out there. I heard that Washington schools were getting shut down through September, so it really sounds like, you know, with the kids stuck at home, I could really imagine cabin fevers getting to everyone, getting a little feisty. Produce Not Pills, you say, Chicago, I'm nearby. Hey man, if I'm ever in Chicago, I'm definitely going to tweet about it. I'm going to make sure everybody knows when I'm there. And if you want to check out a live restaurant challenge, that would be awesome. I love meeting folks in person. Fabian, you're asking what my relationship status is. I am completely free, so if you're looking for someone, no, I'm sorry, I don't swing that way. I am interested in ladies, so I am making an assumption that with a name like Fabian that you are a dude, so let me know if I'm wrong. If you want to hook me up with your sister, something like that. AJAT, I could be wrong, but I think Marie Callender's also does cookies and cream and strawberry pies if they're available in most grocery stores. Yeah, after seeing that they had this, thaw and eat pie, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm gonna have to check it out though. I really like these kind of like boxed and frozen pies that you reheat, or the ones that you thaw. They're usually not quite as interesting as like a homemade pie, but they can still be really super delicious. I'm enjoying this thing way too much. I think I've already eaten at least a good 1,500 calories of this thing. Produce not pills. You see, I'm a guy too, huh? Yeah, I guess I'm not as woke as the millennial generation. I just assume that folks are the gender that's associated. You know, I don't know. It is true that most of my viewership is male, so there is that. I think sometimes it gets to like a 60-40 split. Sometimes it's as much as like 75-25. But, you know, at least I'm not like totally alienating all the ladies out there. I hope not anyway. It is never my intention to make people feel uncomfortable or disliked on this channel. That is for dang sure. Oh my goodness. Now, all this talk a couple days ago about like different peanut butters and stuff got me thinking. So I got this cinnamon raisin bread. You can kind of see that with the no glare on that. And I thought that would be delicious with some pecan butter. I have a ton of pecans left over from the holidays when they always go on sale for super cheap. And I always pick up a bunch for like holiday recipes and making holiday pastries and desserts and stuff like that. So I toasted some and just made some quick pecan butter, which I'm sure I've mentioned myriad times before, just tons of times before, but toasted pecan butter is just the best. It is so delicious. If it didn't cost a friggin' arm and a leg, I'd have it all the time. And pecan butter and banana sandwich, peanut butter and banana sandwich, alternative kind of thing going on. It's one of my favorite kinds of peanut butter sandwiches. Yeah, that's about the best thing ever. Getting back to some of the comments. Eric Cruz, welcome to the stream, bud. I'm not gonna make an ultimatum, but I assume Eric is a dude, so thanks, man, for popping in. Hey, what's up, bro? You should do a Mexican food challenge. That would be actually pretty cool. I was thinking one of the cool things that they sell at the local restaurant supply store are just these giant tortillas. I think they're 14 or 16 inches or something like that. Just every time I go by, I think like, that would make an awesome food challenge, you know? I could make like a multi-layer quesadilla or just a giant burrito or something like that. Yeah, Mexican food is awesome. I should definitely do a Mexican food challenge. And it's been a long time since I've done a giant like burrito restaurant challenge too. I need to do some research, see if I can't find one nearby. Produce Not Pills, have you tried Edwards pies? I wonder which brand is better. I actually do have a couple of videos about trying Edwards pies. I can't remember which ones that I've tried. I mean, they're very similar. Like, I would almost not be surprised if they were like the same company, just different branding with how similar they are. Fabian, you're asking about a Chips Ahoy challenge? Oh man, I've had so many Chips Ahoys on this channel. It's ridiculous. I think a couple of years ago, maybe not that long, if I remember right, I ate like 250 or 300 Chips Ahoy all in one sitting. There's way too many Chips Ahoy. Produce Not Pills, you say my username is neutral though, and most think it's a dude. Lol. Yeah, I guess it's kind of internet culture. It's kind of a drag that just like you see someone on the internet and you either assume that they're either like Princess Nancy Pants or it's a dude. maybe that's just me and my narrow-mindedness. I will admit that I think with the culture that I'm in, especially with the industry that I'm in, it's just like I am surrounded by so many bros, you know. Believe it or not, the video game industry is kind of bro heavy, not too many ladies in it. So I just kind of like, I don't know, I feel like maybe that's an assumption that I make, that like people that I don't know, I just kind of assume that they're guys until I see otherwise. So, and it is a drag that there aren't more women in the gaming industry. Is like, it's 100% true that I know that just about every woman in the gaming industry, whether it's on the side of like being a journalist or being a gamer or being an engineer making games, basically all of them have it rough. You know, they run into, even if it isn't like overt sexism, like it's a glass ceiling. I don't like it. I do my part to try and try to help out and like point out when people are not being quite as inclusive as they should be, but we all, do the best that we can. AJAT, back to a lighter subject. You're asking, or you're saying, to me, one of the my absolute favorite desserts is an Oreo cookie jar blizzard at Dairy Queen. Oh my god, that sounds amazing. It's a combination of Oreo and a chocolate chip cookie dough blizzard. Oh my god, that is over the top. Is that like a custom thing that you can make where you have to ask for like two different flavors put together, or is that a regular item on the menu? Yeah, multi-layer quesadilla sounds creative. That's cheese and quesadilla, cheese and tortilla. It's delicious. Nico, hey Steve. Hey Nico, welcome to the stream. I haven't seen you around before, so if this is your first time dropping in, I'm glad you're able to make it. How do you feel after? How'd you feel after all those cookies? Oh, terrible! It was awful. Like, can I ever work out after a food challenge, or is it too difficult? Yeah, it's basically always too difficult. Like, I just wouldn't be able to get the energy up, even if like I was feeling like my stomach was too distended or anything. I think the hardest part, honestly, is I get heartburn when I try to like lay down to go to sleep after one of those challenges, and then the next day, I get up, I'm feeling super energized, super hypercaloric, and have plenty of energy to go hit it at the gym. After those days, though, I typically do like row machine or a stationary bike or something where I'm, vertical, so I'm not swimming, but also just the jarring movement of running is usually a little bit too much for me. And I mean, I could probably go lift, just go do some powerlifting or something like that. But I don't know. To me, like I'm a 100% a cardio guy, so just going to the gym just to lift weights, it kind of feels like it's a bit of a waste, in my opinion. I know some people like to focus more on the weights than the cardio, but it's all different goals. AJAT, you say it's one of the mini Oreo combinations. I'm going to have to check that out, man. That sounds really, really delicious. Produce nut pills is running your favorite exercise. Definitely. I'm first and foremost a long distance runner. I've been doing that longer than just about anything else. And I've run, I don't know, 30 marathons or something like that. Like I've just done a ridiculous amount of long distance running. And it's the thing that I'm best at. Like, if I show up to a local race, there's a pretty good chance I can get, a top finish. Almost always top in my age group, maybe top 3 overall. I've won 1 or 2 races outright, but that's pretty rare. And there's enough folks that show up that are pretty fast. Because there are a couple of running clubs in my area where there's just some super fast, like ex-collegiate runners. But with everything else that I've done, Spartan racing, I've never been able to like get near the top of the podium on a Spartan race. I think the best I've ever done is I finished 9th overall in Spartan race a couple of years ago. And triathlon is just so ridiculously competitive. The best I've ever been able to do in a triathlon is maybe like 200th place out of 2,500. Like, yeah, triathlon's just super, super competitive. Produce nut pills. Is it true marathons are not good for the body? Well, I mean, you can overdo it, just like you can overdo anything. You know, it definitely is an acute. You know, running a marathon is definitely an acute stressor. But you know, it's. I'm not going to say whether it's good or bad. That's way too subjective to say. I'd say that it more of has effects, some of which are positive for most people, some of which are negative for other people. For example, it does like induce weight loss, you know, which is something that a lot of people think is a good thing. Other people are on the other side of that equation and think that weight loss is a bad thing if they're trying to bulk up or something like that. So, I mean, just to say that it's good or bad is, yeah, that's too subjective. You couldn't say one way or the other. It is true, though, that marathons will beat you down, for sure. After running a marathon, you're typically down for the count for a couple of days. But, no, people don't usually run marathons and use that as like the single, you know, act for their fitness. They typically use signing up for a marathon more as a motivation to get themselves in good shape and, you know, improve their health and fitness. So like if you compare somebody the morning of a marathon to like immediately after having run a marathon, yeah, they're going to be broken down like 100% totally. But for the majority of the people, like 6 months before a marathon when they sign up compared to the day after running a marathon, that's, you know, that comparison is way different. You're talking about, you know, somebody's going to be way healthier, way fitter in that sense. It's kind of like if you looked at Eddie Hall making the 500 kilogram deadlift, like there's no way that was healthy for that dude. You know, if I remember right, he passed out like immediately after doing that. And a bunch of doctors had said that if he tried to do something like that again, then he was just going to die. Like he would have a brain aneurysm, 100%. So is that healthy for the body? No way. Of course not. But you can say that Eddie Hall compared to, you know, the day of doing that 500 kilogram deadlift compared to months or years beforehand when he might have been weaker, then he might have used that 500 kilogram deadlift as a motivation to build up his strength and become, you know, a healthier, fitter person. Or I guess it's kind of on the fringes. He probably wasn't concerned too much about his health, more about his fitness and his strength and everything like that. Well, I'm going to finish off this sandwich. One of the less unhealthy things that I've eaten on these daily live streams. Have a couple more bites of pie. And as usual, I'm going to sign off by wishing everybody good health, good, both mentally and physically good health, I should say. I hope that everybody out there is staying safe, staying connected to your loved ones. I hope that you guys are going out of your way to make sure that you're enjoying yourself a little bit. Yeah, and until next time, I hope you guys take it easy. Have a good one. And as they've been saying lately, stay inside, stay hungry. And thank you everyone for showed up showed up to the live stream. I'm going to try to do this again tomorrow. We'll see what kind of awesome stuff I have to eat for lunch tomorrow. So yeah, catch you guys later.